Everyone to today's webinar. I'm Terry Swack, the founder and CEO of Sustainable Minds, and I could really not be more excited to be doing this webinar with you here today. And I really thank all of you for having the interest and the time to show up in person. This new version of the Transparency Catalog with Project Builder and Library has been in design and development over the last 6 years. And so it's taken a lot of thinking, a lot of time, a lot of meetings, a lot of prototypes, a lot of really understanding the transformation going on in the industry to bring this to you today. We announced it 2 weeks ago. And to set the context, if you haven't seen it, I'm just going to play this short video, and then we all know what we're talking about. Honestly, I get chills when I watch that video. Again, because it's been so long in the making. So today is the first time we've shared a demo of Project Builder and Library outside the organization. So you guys literally are the first ever to lay eyes on it. And it's gonna be a little bit informal. I'm gonna walk you guys through what the Transparency Catalog is, how we're positioning the product. For those of you who are not familiar with what we're doing today. And I always like to walk people through the challenges that we're addressing with this solution so that you know that we understand the challenges that exist in the market. So it's really clear what we're trying to solve, what we're trying to bring solutions to, so that people don't say, well, what about this or what about that? Like, we're being really clear about these are the challenges we're solving right now. These other ones we can get to later. And then we'll talk about the solution, and then we'll get to the demo. We only scheduled 30 minutes for this. And if there's questions, you'll be able to leave them as you exit. There's a very quick survey just to share your feedback with us on what you see today. So let me keep going. So we are focused on building construction products for high performance, low embodied carbon, and healthier buildings. The catalog continues to grow month over month. Today, in May of 2023, we have over 2,080 manufacturers and industry organizations in 28 master format divisions and over 1,260 sections, representing brands and products with transparency disclosures for tens of thousands of products. So the Transparency Catalog, to be clear, only includes manufacturers anywhere in the world making products for the North American market where they have invested in either environmental product declarations or material ingredient disclosures, multi-attribute disclosures that give a 360 view of a product. Now, in the catalog, I'm going to talk now about the data that's in there and the building blocks of the data. The catalog is built on manufacturers' data, and when brands activate their listing, so by the way, we add every single manufacturer, again, anywhere in the world, publishing disclosures, we add the brand and the disclosures. So our commitment to you is that you will find every brand in every master format division and section. You may not find everyone's products, but you will find products from the brands that have activated their listings. And we're going to engage you in some participation in helping brands add more products for your benefit and their benefit. But this is what an activated listing looks like. You've got the link to the manufacturer's website. You've got some positioning about who they are. And here in the product table is where it's all going on. This is a matrix. The horizontal axis is the master format section number. The manufacturer can actually append that that master format section number with a product name or a brand name or attributes here in Toto. They didn't do that, but you'll see examples of that. The vertical axis is the product name, and this links to the product page on the manufacturer's website. And then you can see these two columns show environmental performance and material health disclosures. What we do is we correlate those disclosures, each type, to the product that it covers. And we bring to the surface information about the results of that disclosure. You can see it's EPD is cradle to grave, it's North American in regionality. You can see the expiration date. You can see in a glance that they have declare labels for each of those products. Most of them are red list free, some are not. So it's all about making that information more quickly accessible, understandable, and more easily useful. We've recently added additional content attached to the manufacturer's product table to list any other type of sustainability documentation they have for those products. And what we're doing is we're telling you what other types of sustainability documentation they have, and then we're sending you to one of 3 locations where you're going to be able to find the rest of that transparency documentation if you're looking for it or if you want it. One will be to the product page on the manufacturer's website. So this will say, visit the product pages via the links above to find this additional documentation. Or it will say, visit, a lot of manufacturers have download pages, sustainability documentation download pages. That link will take you there where you can find the additional documentation. And the third option is they don't have either, but they've invested in mindful materials. We'll include the mindful materials link there that will already be the search parameters already preset in the link, so it will take you directly to the manufacturer's content on mindful materials. Each manufacturer's listing that's been activated also has this contact form where you are able to, on the right side, contact them by letting them know what you're interested in and they can get back to you. Or each manufacturer has populated the left side of the contact form with help that you can use right away, either by contacting actual people, phone numbers and emails, or taking you directly to resources on their websites, like dealer locators or ordering samples, lead letters, any other thing that is a resource they've already created. So what we're trying to do is really aggregate the content, the most useful content for selecting high performance, low embodied carbon and healthier products all in one place, and then helping you find all that additional support you're going to need from manufacturers. Now, we've had a relationship with the EC3 tool, the building transparency folks, since they were in early stage development in alpha. And because embodied carbon is data that is provided in an EPD, and the transparency catalog includes every EPD published by every program operator for the North American market. And that's something we've been doing since 2016. We ourselves are a program operator. We understand EPDs, we publish EPDs, we create PCRs, we deliver LCA and material ingredient disclosure services. We are the only end-to-end product transparency solutions provider. And we kind of knew that having every EPD from every program operator in one place was going to be important. So we started doing that in 2016. In fact, we shared our data set with the building transparency folks as they were getting up and running. But we recognized that their methodology was really new and innovative, creating this calculation of a range of reported values and creating a comparison where uncertainty value is added. You know, it's complicated, it's new, and really what people just want to know is something better than something else. And so we worked with them to develop this quintile way of simply saying, is something in the lowest 20th percentile, so that's the best, compared to all the others in the industry range up to the 80th percentile. And so we actually have a custom API that we developed together so that this data gets passed to us along with the EPDs, and we have a synchronization process where our EPDs, their EPDs, they're all synchronized. We pull monthly from them to update quintiles, add any new EPDs so that we're always in sync. But again, now a user can just glance at the listing and see which EPDs, which products have EPDs that show that product is in the lower or higher quintiles of embodied carbon. And again, anything about the material ingredient disclosure, they can see easily that they have both for a particular product and what the results are for each type of disclosure. With the EC3 interconnectedness, we not only add the quintile, but we add the link to the digital EPD in the EC3 tool so that you can go directly into the EC3 tool and start to maybe look at other products or start a building project. If you've come in through the EC3 tool, every digital EPD includes a link to the manufacturer's listing in the transparency catalog, so that if you're in the EC3 tool, coming to the catalog really connects the last mile for you to actually find maybe other content, other products from the manufacturer, and also the ability to get help from that manufacturer. Now, because we have the quintile data, that's a very easy thing to filter on. And if you're looking for products with the lowest embodied carbon, or even, you know, what are your acceptable thresholds, all you have to do is use this filter, click one of the thresholds, and you'll only see products with that level of embodied carbon in your results, which now you can select for your projects that you want to create and build. We recently added another filter a few weeks ago. We just haven't talked about it much yet, haven't had that much time. But in our partnership with the HPDC and Perkins & Will, in the HPD version 2.3 with the additional list screens, one of the additional lists is the Perkins & Will precautionary list. And so we, at the request of Perkins & Will, we created a filter that allow you to see all of the HPD version 2.3s that have screened against, well, they all screen against the precautionary list, but the ones that actually show that they do not contain any precautionary list ingredients. So if that's a selection criteria that you would also like to use, you're able to just add that filter, and then in your results, you'll see only those HPDs that have screened that way. Now, HPD version 2.3 was only released last summer. There are now just about 2,500 HPD version 2.3s of the 8,000 that have been published, but they're getting published at the rate of about 500 a month, which is what we heard from the HPDC last month. So today, only 20% of the HPDs version 2.3 have screened to identify as precautionary list free, but we anticipate over time, as more 2.3s get published, more will show up. I don't know if that 20% will change dramatically. There will just be more products with HPDs with that indicator. So we have a lot of different filters that help people choose products according to the guidelines, the rating system credits, the criteria that they'd like to use to ultimately put parameters around the materials that they always select and use. And when you're selecting materials, you can use any combination of these filters in any order to simply find the stuff that you need. Okay, very quickly, I'm going to talk about, and these are, again, gaps in workflow and tools that all of you are going to be familiar with, either some or all. But again, these are the insights that we became aware of that shaped the requirements for the solution that we built. So in early stage design, it's difficult to make informed decisions just using the disclosures themselves. It's not easy to research, find, and share product options between members of the team. And of course, people are trying to build internal digital libraries. Those are not super hard to build if you're, like working in spreadsheets, but they're super hard to maintain, and nobody likes doing it. And once you put a product into a spreadsheet, it's static. And as people move away from physical libraries to use services like Swatchbox or Material Bank, it's easy to get the samples of the physical materials you're looking at, but then there's no place to actually store the research, the feedback, the learnings that came out of that evaluation. In the specification stage, which starts much earlier, the spec writer and the project team have to establish the sustainability goals that they're going to use for the design of the project. But there's really no industry standard process or tools for doing this. And there's really no standardized way for project teams to provide to the spec writer specifically the brands and products and disclosures that they're looking for to meet the requirements of the project. And if you look at the commercial software tools today, specification tools, they include very little sustainability documentation, and again, also very little capability to search and find products with those parameters. Pre-construction, we've really had to listen to a lot of sad stories about pre-construction managers really not easily being able to source the high performance, low embodied and healthier materials, subs not being interested to help. It takes a lot of time. It really is a drain on the budget of trying to put together a bid and credibly look capable of building high performance, low embodied carbon buildings. And increasingly, as construction companies are getting vertically integrated, people across the organization need access to the same tool so that people can find everything all in one place. I'm just going to pick up the pace here. And finally, and critically important, are the building product manufacturers who have responded to the market demand for transparency, but are still challenged to integrate EPDs and material ingredient disclosures into their product performance stories. And also, the A&D reps have a lot of restrictions around what they can do when they call on A&D firms. They have to do lunch and learns. They're not really allowed to spend a lot of time talking about their products. They do have a lot of expert knowledge that they can share and support around the time of selection and specification. And their goal is ultimately to get their products into your office masters. But again, we talked about, creating internal libraries is similar to creating office masters, where it's a static process. Once products have been added, they manually need to be maintained, and it's not a process that's billable necessarily. So it's a lot of work, and sometimes it doesn't keep up. So with that, Project Builder and Library has been designed to operationalize product selection and close the gaps in workflow data and tools between each stage and revolutionize the end-to-end process for teams. Key features include the ability to create flexible workflows, ultimately export entire projects to EC3 for quick project setup, being able to create a centralized favorite products library for everybody to access, as well as each user gets their own personal favorite products library, the ability to access manufacturer help in the context of projects, and really having no limits on the number of projects, templates that can be created, number of products and libraries, number of people that can be collaborating on projects, so everybody can find everything all in one place. So here's the premise. Now we already have the transparency catalog, which you guys already understand, and we're giving you the capability to build projects, build libraries, export to EC3. But this is the important paradigm to understand, that we created projects as containers for products, and where all the work happens, where all of the selection, all of the discussion, all of the collaboration, all of the document acquisition happens in projects. But a project can be any kind of collection of products. So it could be a specific project, a specific school, office building, whatever it is you're working on. A project could be just a room type, for example. A project can be a collection of products. Like if you build, for example, operating rooms, you could have a project called operating room, where all the materials you use in operating rooms go in that project. And projects can also be all of or portions of master format sections, where the people in your firm who are experts on those materials or those products can maintain those collections. Libraries are archives. So all the work happens in projects, and projects and products can get saved to libraries, the office libraries or the personal libraries. And when they get archived, all of the discussion, all of the pricing, images, any other documentation that was created or added in the evaluation or use in a project gets archived into the library. So nothing is ever lost. Okay, here we go, demo. All right, here I am. I have logged into my transparency catalog account. And here I am at my dashboard. And what you're going to see on the dashboard is my recently active projects, my recently added favorite products. We're providing templates that manufacturers are creating, kind of their picks of their best products for certain application types, which you'll have access to. And so if I kind of give you a little bit of a tour around, I'm going to take you to my project library. And because I'm working in an office account, we're going to be offering individual accounts and office accounts. Individual accounts are 1 user, office is 2 through whatever number you want. Because I'm in an office account, but right now I'm the only one working in it, the Sustainable Minds project library is also my personal project library. You can see my projects and all projects are one and the same. But you can see that I've built a whole variety of different kinds of projects, commercial office building, et cetera, to show you different project types. But here's where I wanted to get into different ways that you might use a project as a collection. Again, if we're thinking about achieving pledge goals, you could create collections specific to any kind of goal you want to achieve. This I just kind of made up. It's Division 8 openings with only Perkins and Will precautionary list free products. That is designed to meet a component of the materials pledge. Here, for example, here's a Division 7 project that only contains products that are in the 20th percentile as per EC3. So let's say I want to go into this project. I'll show you what a project consists of. Here's the project setup information. I've named it. I've said who can see it. I've called it, it's a product collection as opposed to any other type of building. This is the same pull down as the Revit pick list with the addition of collection. You can add construction and contract information. You can add any kind of picture. I just did a little screenshot of the catalog UI. You can put in any description, obviously a location. And now you can see I've already added 5 products to the project. And I'll show you how you can add products. You can add products from the catalog, you can add products from your libraries, you can add products from other projects. The whole idea is that over time, you may not actually add products directly from the transparency catalog anymore. You might actually just only add products to projects from other projects that you've built or templates or from your libraries. So this was my 20th percentile project, my Division 7 20th percentile. So I just filtered on that. You know, I'm just picking things now. Let's say I would just want to add these, and I can go do research on them later. I can just, you know, make sure, yep, these are just the ones I selected. I'm going to add to my project. And now it takes me back to my project. And you can see that I've added those products to the project. Again, this is going to take me to the product on the manufacturer's website. It's going to show me the quintile. So I can see that. I don't actually have to go in there. I can actually establish in this project, you know, if this were a building project, I could say, yes, I want it to be basic design. I'm not going to allow substitutions. If I have any pricing information, and as I'm doing this research, I might decide, you know, I really think this particular product should also go in the office library. And I can add it to the office library by just doing that. I can also go right into this more detail page, which creates a list of all the products in the project from a particular brand. Because if you're ever going to need any help, you can go right there and get the help from the contact form. And this is where the collaboration happens. I'll go back and show you how to invite people to projects, but you can invite as many people as you want to projects. And this is where you might be saying, you know, whatever you want. I tried this on some other project, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to save it. And anyone who's been invited to the project will get that note and will be able to collaborate in reply. You'll be able to manage your settings. So here's how you invite people to a project. Here's all the people already invited to my account or participating in my account. I can add Amber or Maddie as an editor, send her the invitation, and now she's been invited to the project and she get these notifications. Again, you can manage the notifications, you can do digest, you can do individual actions. And finally, here's the export to EC3. Now, I already exported to EC3. What it does is it sends back this perpetual link. So I can get that link there. It's in the projects tab, it's on the products tab. And if I were exporting for the first time, it would just export. But here, now I'm in EC3, it's set up the project. You can see here's the products that have been selected. You can also go and search the collections of that type of product and change up those EPDs. For now, you're going to manually add quantities. In the longer term, we will look at how we can converge data from TallyCat or other tools that are helping to bring quantity data. So that's coming, but for right now, it exports the actual products. And you know, at the end of the day, because now we're up against our endpoint, if I go back to the project library, any project can ultimately get shared. You can act on it there. I can invite people. I can copy it and start another project. I can export it to a spreadsheet. I can save it as a template. So this is going to be super valuable. Let's say my commercial office building was a specific location, but I'm going to build, you know, my firm is going to build more like that. I can save it as a template, delete the content that is specific to that location, and now I've got my commercial office building template, which I'm going to be able to find in my templates tab. And you can always delete a project, and completed means you're going to send it over here to the completed tab where all your completed projects are. There is so much more we've built into Project Builder and Library. I just wanted to give you an early look at what's happening. It is in private beta now. We're working with a variety of firms of different sizes to make sure the capabilities that we've built work for firms of different sizes. Here you can see this, I'm in the library. I can add this to a project. I can add it to my favorites, whatever. We've built it to be very flexible so that you're going to develop your own internal workflows that are going to work for your firm. So there's a lot of different ways to actually do the same thing. Again, it's going to be based on how you're going to want to work and how you're going to want to build new workflows to select, specify materials to meet your performance goals for projects here on out. So with that, I'm just going to go right back here and encourage people to sign up for a free account. So you'll get notified when it goes live. When it goes live, you will be able to move from your free account to a free trial seamlessly. You can try it out for free. And then if you like it, there is a subscription. It's not going to be expensive. And the more people in your firm that you buy subscriptions for, the more affordable or the less costly it becomes. And just to be clear, anyone that you invite outside your organization is free. So you can invite your owner, your clients, your collaborators, the contractor to come into a project, comment on it, give feedback, and all those users are free. So thanks for staying a few extra minutes. I appreciate your time. We're asking for any of your thoughts or feedback or comments on the way out, and we'll keep in touch with you and have a great day. Appreciate it.